Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I thought that since Glee, finished its season last week, I decided that I would do my top 10 favorite episodes of season 4. Now, I am going to say this was kind of a hard list to make because there were quite a few episodes I really liked, like Diva is not here. I just thought of the ones that had a couple problems for me. Diva was one of them. Sadie Hawkins, even though I love that episode, it's not on here. Also, Dynamic Duets is not on here because of one part that just kind of annoyed me. Some of the stuff on that episode annoyed me. But these 10 are the episodes that I thought were really great, had the best performances, just had really great song choices. Everything just was really great. And also Britney 2.0. That was one I really wanted to put on here. But after thinking about it, that's just kind of a silly episode. I did really enjoy the episode. But these are the 10 that really, when I think about my favorites, these are the 10 that I think of. And I have a list right here. So let's get started. Number 10 is Glee. I put Glee at number 10. And a lot of people didn't like this episode. They said Kitty is, like, heartless, and I don't think that was really what it is. Just jealousy got the best of her, and I don't think Kitty meant to do as bad as damage as she did to Marley. Like, I don't think she meant for Marley to go to the extent that she did. That's why later Kitty feels so bad for Marley. And, this is the episode that I really, like, after the role you were born to play, that was the episode where I really started to like Kitty. I thought she was really funny. And this episode was really good. Plus, a lot of people were very disappointed with the role you were born to play. And I don't think that was a bad episode. Yeah, it had some kind of stupid stuff. Especially with introducing Ryder, there was some really stupid stuff between him and Finn. Like, their conversations were weird. But the main reason people didn't like it was because it didn't focus on Rachel and Finn and Kurt and Blaine, Brittany and Santana, and Will and Emma. Well, it did focus on Will and Emma, but I think this one, they really did focus a lot on Rachel and Finn, and they have a very good scene together, and I really love the scene they have together where, Rachel kind of tells Finn kind of tells Rachel, I was just watching it right now, where Finn tells Rachel how there are 4 types of cries you have, and he talks to her so much, and it's a really good scene between the two of them, and they decide to not have any contact, which really did not last long, and I knew it wasn't going to last very long, because think about it, Rachel and Finn not talking to each other for, the rest of their lives, as long as Rachel's in New York, we know they can't do that. They love each other too much. And so Glee gets number 10. Also, an amazing performance from Melissa Benoist as Marley. One of her best performances in an episode because she was so amazing in this episode. I mean, that scene where she's shoving the fingers down her throat in the bathroom was just incredible. I'm like, this girl is going to be a star, and she really is. Okay, so number 9 is Makeover, and I would have put this episode higher because I really love this episode. Wait, it's definitely, I knew it was going to be one of my favorites once I watched it, but the problem was, a lot of people didn't like this episode. They thought it was really stupid, and I don't know what the problem with it was. Yeah, it wasn't like a huge episode. My top 3 are the hugest episodes of the season, but it really was a great episode because it set so much up for the breakup. I mean, it focused a lot on Blaine's relationship with Kurt and how Kurt, he had a job at Vogue, and he really couldn't talk to Blaine, and Blaine's running for president. And then there's Rachel, who's trying to get a makeover, and she's falling in love with Brody, completely forgetting about Finn. And at the last moment, boom! Finn shows up at the door. That's one of the best cliffhangers of Glee. I'm like, oh no. Like, when Rachel and Brody started to kiss, I really thought they were going to have sex. I really thought Rachel and Brody were going to have sex. I thought it just seemed that's how it was going to end. And I'm like, please have sex, because that was the time when I really liked Rachel and Brody together. The last episode I really enjoyed Rachel and Brody together was Sadie Hawkins. After that, I was done with Rachel and Brody. Because I just thought that they really lacked chemistry after that episode. But this episode, I really enjoyed them together. And I just think that it was really great. I also thought Rachel looked great. A lot of people say that they didn't like the way Lea Michele looked, and it wasn't just Lea Michele's new style. I think Lea Michele wanted to show a new side of Rachel, and they really did. They said Rachel would get a massive makeover, and I like the way she looked. So yeah, this definitely gets number 9 makeover. Also, Sarah Jessica Parker was great. The songs were great too. A Change or Do You Good and The Way You Look Tonight were just fantastic. Also, one of the only episodes that featured a lot of New York. Like, this one featured a lot of Rachel and Kurt's storyline. Number 8 is Feud. Again, I would have put this episode higher, but the problem is there were just so many other really good episodes that I couldn't put this episode higher. I just loved this episode. I thought it was so great. The way it was done, it was so great the way everything was handled in this episode. I really loved the Ryder and Unique scenes. By the way, if you're wondering what I'm texting, it's because I'm switching places for one of the episodes. So yeah, I really enjoyed the Ryder and Unique scenes. I thought they were really great together. They worked really well together, at least. And the other thing that I loved about the episode was the Brody thing was handled so well. Like, the moment we saw Brody in that prostitution place, it didn't feel like Glee. I just loved how mature New York felt. Like, whenever we saw New York, it felt so mature, and really, I just thought it was so great. And also, this was the first episode of the Katie storyline, which was probably one of my top 5 favorite storylines of the season. It goes with number 2. My favorite was, of course, New York, the whole New York storyline. But it was just such a great episode. Also, I love this scene with Jake, Ryder, Marley, Kitty, and Unique saying how they're going to stick together. Once Blaine, Tina, Artie, Sam, and Brittany all graduate, they're going to stick together. Because if you think about it, they're the only ones that are really going to have much focus after they leave. So we'll have to see what happens with them. I mean, I think it was just a really, really great episode. You guys remember my review, so I'm not going to talk much about it. Just go watch my review. In fact, I will put links to the ones I reviewed down below. So if you guys want to check those out, you definitely can. Alright, number 7 is the new Rachel. This was the best season premiere since the pilot. It was just so good the way they handled everything. Bringing in Marley, they handled that so well. The new directions, being douchebags, I thought it was interesting to see that the fame went to their head. I was really hoping we'd see a storyline like that, because we always saw them so humble. We never saw it go to their head, and we saw it go to their head. And this is the episode though where we really started to dislike Tina, although in this episode I did like her. But future episodes, like Glee, I really started to dislike her. And especially like Sadie Hawkins when she fell in the plane. That was just weird. But I just thought everything was handled so well this episode. I mean, the Rachel and Brody scenes were great too. And then it has one of the best endings when Kurt shows up in New York. I literally clapped because I love their friendship. Like, if anything happens in Glee, if the 2 of them were to split up and, like, never be friends again, that'd be it for me, because they make Glee for me. They're just so cute together. The 2 of them are my favorite characters. Despite Rachel and Kurt are my favorite characters, and I was just so happy with the results of this episode. So, yeah, number 7 to be Rachel. Also, I loved Cassandra when she was on, because she was a great, when Cassie July was on. I mean, Kate Hudson was great in this. So I really liked her character. Number 6 is Lights Out. I really love this episode. I think this definitely, Becca Tobin had the best performance in this episode. Really, Blake Jenner did do a really great job. He always does. But Becca Tobin really shined in this episode. It's the episode that made me want to see her more and more. I'm really hoping we see Ryder and Kitty get together in the next season, because they were just so cute together in this episode, and I really want them to get together now. Even though I did like Artie and Kitty, I want Ryder and Kitty now. And The Longest Time has got to be one of my favorite songs of the episode. I mean, of the whole season. I think it was great. Also, Sue singing Little Girls was another favorite. By the way, Jane Lynch, if you're on Broadway, you're on Broadway now, so shout out to you, Jane Lynch. So, this was just a great episode. I thought the way they handled the power going out was also great. It was just a very dark episode, and then the ending just got to where they're like, if you have a problem with being sexually abused, go to rain.com. That really got to me, honestly, because I just feel bad for all the people who go through this. So yeah, that was a great episode. So number 6 is Lights Out. Number 5 is Swan Song. Swan Song was just a really, really great episode because Swan Song, of course, I love the fact that the New Directions lost sectionals. We got to see them kind of go away from the New Directions. And it was kind of cool how that was more to the side. And we got to see much more of Rachel and Kirk and Brody. And in this episode, Rachel and Brody do get together. Rachel decides she's moving on with things. And she has a friendly conversation with Finn. And, you have the Breakfast Club music. And all the songs were amazing in this episode. Kurt's solo was just amazing, being alive. Rachel's solo, being good isn't good enough. Oh my god, I remember when I listened to that, I got chilled because I love that song. Oh Holy Night, she finally sang that, and I just thought it was such a great episode. I was so happy that Kurt got in. I remember I was so happy about that. So number 5 is definitely Swan Song, just a really, really great episode, and I love that everyone just went to ridiculous clubs, and then in the end they all came back together. I just thought that was great. Number 4 is Wonderful. And this would have been higher on my list, but I had to pick the biggest episodes for the rest because I had to think of the ones that had the best performances. This episode did, but it was also very cute. And the reason I loved it so much was because it was so cute. And I thought everyone was so great in this episode. I mean, the Mercedes storyline was great. Again, if you want more an in-depth review of this, just go to my review. I'll post it down below. I just absolutely loved Wonderful. Number 3, we're getting to the big episodes here. I Do is just an amazing episode. It's so great. They knew how to do a mid-season finale here. They knew how to do a winter finale. Guilty Pleasures really did not feel like a hiatus episode. This felt like a hiatus episode. I kind of feel like they didn't expect to have another hiatus, but they did anyway. And this episode was just so intense. I mean, not intense. It started off really cute. I mean, Emma not coming to her wedding. Leaving her wedding. Finn and Rachel having sex, and Rachel facing a pregnancy scare was amazing to see. Kurt and Blaine was the only thing in the episode I didn't really like, and Quinn and Santana, I didn't like that. That went nowhere. Why were they even here? It went absolutely nowhere. So I don't know why they brought them into the whole episode, because it went nowhere for me. I just thought it was really, really stupid, because it went nowhere. But I did really like the episode. It is a really cute episode, and it also was a huge episode because so much happens, and also Ryder kisses Marley, and we have all that going on, and I just think that's amazing. So number 2 is The Breakup. The Breakup is just such an intense episode with great performances by Lea Michele. Her best performance to date. Like, she hasn't given a better performance ever since this episode. She just gave such a great, meaningful performance here. And I really thought Rachel and Finn were just going to be gone completely and they focused more on Rachel and Brody. But I don't know what I was thinking because, of course, Brody is a douchebag. After, once they break up, we find out that Brody's a douchebag. And, The Breakup was just such a great episode. It was raw, it was intense, and I've read a lot of things that people said it was a very realistic episode. The characters felt real. Like, Kurt and Blaine was very realistic. I love the way that was handled. Finn and Rachel especially was great. Brittany and Santana, each couple had different reason for breaking up. Finn and Rachel was more of no contact, no, him not telling her where she was, him completely abandoning her. Kurt and Blaine was more of cheating and, betrayal and things like that. Brittany and Santana, they couldn't handle long distance, and then Kitty and Jake, Kitty was a bitch. But this was the episode where I really started to like Kitty. I thought she was really funny in this episode, and I really did enjoy her in this episode. I thought she was really funny. So yeah, The Breakup definitely gets number 2. I really enjoyed it. And the number 1 episode of Glee Season 4, can you guys guess what it is? The number 1 episode is Shooting Star. This has to be the #1 episode because it was so intense. I think it changed so much for Glee because the way it changed so much for Glee was that they had so much intenseness going on. Half of it, like the 11, watch those 11 minutes. You just get chills every time. The writer storyline was handled so well with Katie. With us realizing that Katie is not, that Marissa is a separate person. This girl is not Katie, she's Marissa, who I really hope we will see again because I thought she was really cute and she's hot too. So not as hot as Becca Tobin though. Becca Tobin is really hot. This girl's hot though too. Both of them are hot. They kind of look the same honestly if you think about it, but Shooting Star, you know, it was just such an amazing episode. Everyone hiding in a classroom. Heather Morris's performance was just amazing. She gave such a great performance here. The Brittany and Sam scenes, it really made you like Brittany and Sam as a couple. Like Swan Song, I forgot to mention with Swan Song, a lot of people did not like Brittany and Sam as a couple. After this episode, they're like, no, we don't want them as a couple. This episode, people start to actually enjoy them as a couple, and I did too. I never loved Brittany and Sam, but this episode I really thought they were cute together. I really just loved that it changed everything. I mean, Sue's plot was huge with Becky, and we still don't know where that's going to go because it still hasn't been resolved yet. So, I mean, this still is going on next season with, you know, Sam and Blaine. They're gonna interrogate Sue, and they're gonna, you know, they got her fired, but they're gonna interrogate Sue, and you know, I just thought it was an incredible episode, and I just really, really loved Shooting Star. The most unsettling episode of Glee ever, but it was just amazing. All the performances were so good. And those are my top 10 episodes of Glee Season 4. The one episode that I forgot to mention, which I feel really stupid about, is Thanksgiving. I'd probably replace that with Glee at number 10, because I did really enjoy that episode. I don't know why I forgot that episode, because I really loved it. I mean, I can't believe I forgot that episode. Honestly, number 10 is going to be Thanksgiving, because number 11 would be Glee, so number 10 would be Thanksgiving. I mean, I just thought that was a great episode, too, because Quinn finally came back, and we had a great storyline with her and Santana. Puck came back, Mercedes and Mike were back, everybody was back, and I loved seeing the episode. I mean, Marley's storyline was amazing, the Rachel Curtin Brody scenes were great, and I just really liked that episode. But number 1 is still Shooting Star. It was just such an amazing episode. So those are my top 10 episodes of Glee Season 4. Let me know what your favorite episode of Glee Season 4 was. Did I leave your favorite out? I'm sure I probably did. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. And was it hard? If you make a top 10 list, you could do a video response to this, make a top 10 list. Was it hard for you to make a top 10 list? Because for me, it was hard to make a top 10 list because there were a lot of really good episodes, but not a lot of really great episodes. Like those last 3 episodes were the ones that I knew were going to be on here, as well as Swan Song and the season premiere. Once I had watched those episodes, I knew they'd be here. Same with Lights Out and Wonderful. But these 10, like, once I saw them, I knew they would be here. Forget Glee. I replaced it with Thanksgiving already. So that's it for my review. That's it for my top 10 episodes. Hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!